So guys, can you solve this equation? Now, when we look at the board, the equation is actually very simple to solve. Now, what we just need to do is that we need to recognize a pattern, right? Now, when we look at this question on the board, we can actually recognize a very nice looking pattern. We can see that these three numbers here are multiples of what? 5. Okay? That means I can extract 5 from them. Okay? Now, let us try to do that first. So, I can say that this is 5 to the power of x plus 5 times 10 to the power of x equals 5 times 100 to the power of what? X. I haven't done anything what? Wrong here. Okay? Because 5 times 10 is 50. 5 times 100 is what? 500. Now, after extracting 5, what's the next thing to do? Using the law of indices also, I can also extract 5 to the power of x from this also. Because I want uniformity, I want everything to be what? Uniform. So here I can have 5 to the power of x plus 5 to the power of x times 10 to the power of x equals 5 to the power of x times 100 to the power of what? X. Now, we can see that every term of this equation has a coefficient of 5 to the power of what? X. Now, it means I can factor this out, okay? I can factor 5 to the power of x out. When I factor it out, I will have 5 to the power of x will give me, this divide this, give me 1, plus this cancels this, 10 to the power of x equals 5 to the power of x times 100 to the power of what? X. When you expand the bracket, you still have this. So I haven't done anything wrong. Okay, so what am I going to do here is that we divide both sides by 5 to the power of x. So I have to cancel it out. But we don't have to divide, you can just cancel it out directly because it's exactly the same. Okay, so now we'll be left with 1 plus 10 to the power of x equals 100 to the power of x. Very, very nice. We have simplified this to this. Now, I can see another pattern here also. Yeah, you guessed it right. So this is also a multiple of 10. We can express this one too as 10 to the power of what? 2. So here we have 1 plus 10 to the power of x equals 10 to the power of 2 all to the power of what? X. Now, law of indices, we finally have 1 plus 10 to the power of x equals 10 to the power of, we multiply this to x. Very, very what? Nice. Okay. Now, what can we now do here? We have 10 to the power of x here. We also have 10 to the power of what? X here. So we can just use easy substitution. Okay. But before that, let us rewrite this as 1 plus 10 to the power of x equals 10 to the power of x all to the power of 2. Don't forget, law of indices, x times 2 will still give me 2x. I haven't done anything wrong. So we can now substitute. We can now say, let's continue here. So here now, we can now say, let 10 to the power of x equals, let's say, y. Let's choose y. Okay, let's choose y. To the power, let's equal to what? Y. So let's substitute that. So here we have 1 plus y equals y squared. Now I've gotten to a quadratic equation. Okay, so now we can rewrite this as 0 equals y squared. Okay, minus y minus what? 1. Now we will solve this. We should solve this. We can't actually solve the factorization, okay, because the roots are decimal. So when we solve this using the quadratic formula, okay, whereby a is 1, b is -1, c is -1, we are going to have y to be equal to 1 plus or minus root 5 all over 2. Okay, I've got that value of what? Y. Therefore, y equals 1 plus root 5 all over 2 or 1 minus root 5 all over 2. But now, this negative is not going to be part of our solution. Yes, because When we have 1 minus root 5 will give us something like 2 points, okay? And that is bigger than 1. So that means this answer here will be negative. And don't forget, y is 10 to the power of x. So when we take the log of both sides, we can't have a negative log. I can't have log of a negative number. So that would be impossible, okay? No, like it'll be a complex number though. So this is not going to be a solution. Therefore, y should be equal to 1 plus square root of 5 equals 2. It must be positive because we're dealing with logarithm, okay? So let's now use direct substitution. Instead of y, we now have 10 to the power of x equals 1 plus root 5 all over 2. Now, the reason why I keep writing this is I want to eliminate approximation, okay? Because when we use approximation, they might not be too accurate, you know. We have to use like 6 decimal place, 7 decimal place, to write it for it to be very, very accurate. So we don't have to go through those stress. Let's just keep on writing it like this, okay? Now, to solve for x here, we take the log of both sides, right? Take the log of both sides. So we have, here will now give us log of 10 to the power of x equals log of 1 plus root 5 all over 2. Okay, 1 plus root 5 all over 2. Don't forget, x come behind. So therefore, x will now be equal to log 1 plus root 5 all over 2. Now, therefore, when we impute this into our calculator, very, very easy. Just impute log. We type log, we click on log, then into bracket 1 plus root 5, all into bracket divided by 2, close our bracket. It's going to give us answer. And the answer that it's going to give us is x equals to 4 decimal places, okay? Final what? Answer. Very, very simple. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, please, for you to enjoy more stuff like this and as a way of what supporting my channel. Thank you very, very much. Till next time, have a good day.